Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and that means tonight was Friday Night Smackdown. And to be honest, I thought it was a good Smackdown, better than we've been getting. One of the best, if not the best, 3-hour Smackdowns we've had all year. So that is a kudos. I thought this was an easy to watch show. A lot of good things. A couple of little like, why are they doing this? Like, why did Seth and his group get 2 talking segments? That I don't get. But other than that, that was a pretty good show. And also, technically, WWE didn't keep up their end of the bargain of an advertisement. They stated that all men announced for Money in the Bank will be appearing on the show tonight. Yeah, we didn't see El Grande Americano. We saw Chad Gable and American Made, but we didn't see El Grande Americano. I'm just joking. But with all of that, I thought it was a really good SmackDown, really good build for tomorrow night's show. It was a really well done go-home show. I will say that for both the Mega Championship match at Worlds Collide and then the Money in the Bank show itself. I thought they did a really good job hyping up mainly Money in the Bank, of course, but even telling us, hey, don't forget Worlds Collide by Kingo and Chad Gable. And oh, sorry, I just hit the microphone. I was talking to a friend, and I'm like, now, WWE will probably keep them under control, but we've seen Vikingo and AEW get a little reckless and rowdy. And so hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow because Chad Gable can't risk getting hurt. He's working 2 matches. He's working the Vikingo match. Then he's working Money in the Bank. So he can't risk getting hurt. I can't say the same thing for Stephanie Vicur. I could and can't. But the 2 ladies that she's facing in the tag match with Lola Vice, Chick Tormenta, and whoever the other one is, I've never heard of them before. So I don't know what kind of workers they are. But we have seen Vikingo and AEW get a little reckless and rowdy and hurt himself. I've never seen him hurt anybody else, but we have seen him hurt himself. So just saying. Also, my notes are on the wrong screen. Let's move these up here. But regardless, good show, good build for tomorrow. We got 2 shows coming to us tomorrow. We got WWE Worlds Collide live and free on YouTube. And then we've got Money in the Bank afterwards. And how we're going to run it tomorrow is I'm going to watch both shows. The beginning of our review tomorrow night after Money in the Bank, we'll talk about Worlds Collide. I'm not going to break down every match move for move, spot for spot like I normally do. I will give a good, 10, 15, 20-minute review of Worlds Collide. Maybe not that long. I'll probably go about 10 minutes or so of Worlds Collide. And then we'll go in and do our normal Money in the Bank review. So that is the plan for tomorrow. But with that, got today and Smackdown. And I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Also, it's not Google Pod, it's YouTube Music now, but same thing. With that, remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to go help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out over there by hitting the subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, if you want to help us out another way and get some cool perks, you can do so by hitting the join button. Hit the join button to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name. You get emotes and emojis that you can use in the live chat in the comments section. Then at the $1 tier, you do get our graphics tutorials. And at the $5 tier, you do get our graphics packages, the PSD, all the assets, and so forth. I do want to apologize that our WWE Battleground graphics are not out yet. I said they would be out either today or yesterday. We had way more news the last 2 days than I was expecting. So the plan is to, as soon as I'm done here, finish up editing that tutorial and then get everything posted tomorrow. So tomorrow morning-ish, maybe right before Money Day. Sometime tomorrow, you guys on Patreon and YouTube, for members, subscribers, and Patreon subscribers, will have the graphics package and the tutorial for my WWE Battleground graphics. Promise you guys. Like I said, I do apologize. We had more news and more stuff that kept me busy the last 2 days than I expected. And so I will have those up tomorrow. The goal is always to as many either Friday or Thursdays, most likely Fridays, that I can get you guys new graphics tutorials and stuff up there on Patreon. So we'll see. I know we have tomorrow you'll be getting Battleground. Then the week after that, you'll be getting Double or Nothing. Then the week after that, you will be getting Money in the Bank. And then we'll see from there what I got that I can give you guys, because we're kind of running low. And I know, after Evolution, you'll get my Evolution graphics. After All In, you'll get my All In graphics. After, I'll do it for Great American Bash as well. So you guys got some stuff coming for you guys. If you are subscribing, I want to say thank you to the people that have been actually subscribing at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. We've got a couple new subscribers over there. So I do want to say thank you to the people that are interested in the content that I am providing, that nobody else in the wrestling space is going to be able to provide to you. Nobody else is teaching you something that can make you money. And I'm teaching you Photoshop, and eventually we're going to start throwing in After Effects graphics tutorials as well. But right now we're doing just the Photoshop stuff, and then we'll come back around. Like a week where here's the plan. A week where I don't have new graphics, then we'll come around with the After Effects tutorials. That's the plan. That's the plan. So I'm teaching you guys things that then you can then use, learn from, become a graphic designer, or at least learn some things within graphic design that can maybe make you money or benefit yourself in a way, maybe help a family member that needs something created and so forth. That is my goal. My goal with this is to teach. I've always loved being able to help people learn. My motto is never stop learning. I try to learn something new almost every single day, especially when it comes to graphic design, Photoshop, Premiere, and After Effects. And so I want to help you guys learn more. But also remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. We got the new Fortnite Supers season coming up this weekend. I want to say that drops on Sunday. You're going to get old new Superman, old Corn Sweat, and you're getting a very cool looking Robin skin and a bunch of other superhero themed skins as well within the new season. So if you are going to get into that new battle pass coming up this next week, use our code PWU NLIMITED when you're buying anything for Fortnite, getting any of them V-Bucks, whether that's through the Epic Game Store, your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Switch, your phone, your tablet, anything. Just go to the bottom of the store on the store page on Fortnite. It's going to ask you if you have a creator code, and you do. It's PW Unlimited. I want to say thank you to everybody that has been using it. We've actually gotten, for this latest Star Wars season, more than normal people using our code. So again, thank you for that. With all of that, I am also keeping track of TNA Against All Odds, because I want to see who wins this damn Santino Mr. Stone match, because the winner of that becomes the new director of authority of TNA. And I really want to see if they're going to put a WWE guy in charge of TNA, at least on camera, on screen, storyline wise. So I do have my Twitter open. I'm checking that periodically just to see, because I want to see what goes on with that match. I am interested in that one. And then we also have the Elijah Trick Williams title match coming as well. Oh, Killer Kelly just returned. We had 2 returns, or technically 3 returns on this show now tonight. So the Inspiration actually returned earlier tonight. They want the tag titles, and it looks like after the Knockouts title match, Killer Kelly returned. So that's really cool as well. Heck to the yeah. Heck to the yeah. Also, I hate all these people on Twitter saying, John Cena responded to We Want Truth chants. No, he didn't. He started the We Want Truth chants. Let's just talk about this for a second. It goes to what Esports Gaming Rules' comment is here. He says, wow, John Cena shoots on our Truth release. Well, first off, you don't know what shoot means, because he did not shoot on anything. John Cena was just doing a you can handle the truth. So John Cena's heel gimmick is, I'm going to overact everything in a bad way on purpose. That's John Cena's heel character. And so he was doing, overacting the you can't handle the truth. The truth is that I'm going to take this title. The truth is that Logan's going to be the world champion and blah. And because he kept saying the truth, and maybe he was doing it on purpose to try and get We Want Truth chants, but because he kept saying truth so many times, the fans in Bakersfield eventually started chanting, "We want truth. We want truth. We want truth." And so John Cena yells again, "You can't handle the truth." That is not John Cena shooting on Truth's release or not being re-signed. That is not what that is at all. That's not what that is at all. And esports gaming rules, that's not them getting mega nuclear heat like you say in your comment here. That's not it at all. Not the same thing. Not anything. They're just getting heel heat because people don't like Logan and they don't want to see Logan with that title. But I'm going to talk more about what I think the plan for John Cena and Logan could be with the big announcement made tonight on Smackdown once we get to that. But yeah, I don't think, because I see like on Twitter here, like I'm looking here on Twitter. Where was the one that I saw? There was one comment. John Cena directly responds to "We want truth" chants. No, he doesn't, because he was saying you can't handle the truth before they started chanting "We want truth." So, yeah, that's not a thing. Also, I'm seeing here, congratulations to injured Apollo Crews who graduated college. That's awesome. With honors. Anyways, let's get into this Smackdown review from Central California, Bakersfield, California. Goddamn Joe Tess over and over and over. We're in Southern California. No, you're not. No, you're not. Here, let me do something really fast. I'm going to pull up a map. Google Maps. As someone that grew up in Central California, have friends from Bakersfield, we're gonna pull up a map really fast. Go to California on this map. And I'll pull it up here on the screen in a second. Okay, so trying to just get it positioned right. Okay. So looking at this map, this is California, of course. You got San Diego, Los Angeles, Bakersfield, Fresno, Sacramento, San Francisco. You got Redding up here, Mount Shasta, and all that good stuff. Eureka. And right in here, right in this area, right under Bakersfield, is what locals in California call the Grapevine. It is the big mountain that you got to climb over when you come down into Los Angeles off the 5. You come from the 99 to the 5. You go over the Grapevine, the big old mountain where Magic Mountain Six Flags is, and you go into LA. Well, people from California say everything north of that is Central California. Anything, not everything north, but everything north of the Grapevine to the, I guess you could say, back exit, as we call it, of Yosemite National Park. That's Central California. So basically from like here to here is Central California. Joe Chess over and over. We're in Southern California. Yeah, you're 2 hours from LA, Bakersfield to LA. That's an hour and a half, 2 hour drive, depending on traffic. But that's not Southern California. That's Central California. Trust me, I grew up right up here. Literally, right in here, where we literally, where I grew up, we had a sign that said, "You have reached the exact dead center of California." No shit, no joke. We had a sign that said that about 25 minutes from my house growing up. Maybe 15 minutes from where I went to school. But again, like I said, the big mountain ridge here, they call it the Grapevine. It's where Six Flags is. Everything south of that is Southern California. Everything north of that to the rear exit of Yosemite, right about here, Central California. Maybe a little bit lower. Because San Francisco is north. You're never going to hear anybody in San Francisco or San Jose say that they are Southern California or Central California. Oh no, that's NorCal. So maybe even the front entrance of Yosemite, you can say, is the end of Central. But again, I grew up a lot in Yosemite as well, going camping 2-3 times a year with school. But regardless, get off that tangent. Because, Joe Test probably just being told what he's to say. Oh, we're in Southern California. You're close to Southern California. Literally, You drive an hour over that mountain, you're in Southern California. So just saying. Joe Tess, great. Joe Tess is great. No shade on Joe Tess. It got annoying to somebody who was from there, who's been to Bakersfield more times than I can count, who grew up in Central California, to hear him keep saying Central California, Central California, Central California, or Southern, when it's not. It's Central. Let me see something really fast. I want to just look up something really quick. Okay, yeah, okay. Got it. So, as far as SmackDown does go, though, let's jump into this review. I'll scroll down to my notes. Joe Tess welcomes us to Bakersfield, California. And then they start showing the Intuit Dome where Money in the Bank is tomorrow. They finally transition to Bakersfield. And we see Cody Rhodes, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Victoria, Naomi, Julia, Roxanne Perez, and more entering the building. Show opens with Paul Heyman and his group, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Rollins is soaked in the fans, singing his song briefly after all four of them enter down, till the crowd starts, chanting for CM Punk. CM Punk chants broke out, and these people here in Bakersfield just couldn't make up their minds. Do they like Seth? Do they not like Seth? Do they want Punk? Do they not want? I don't know. They were booing Seth, then they were cheering Seth, and they were chanting for Punk. It was weird. Anyways, Rollins eventually said, Bakersfield, welcome to Friday Night SmackDown, Friday Night Rollins, and then they cheered again because he said Bakersfield. Rollins said he will take everything at Money in the Bank tomorrow, and that means everything, including control of the entire industry. Then the random fans start chanting, OTC, OTC, OTC. I'm like, okay, you just want anybody. You ain't getting either of them. You ain't getting either of them. Rollins said Roman could hear them, but, he's on the island of irrelevancy, and he ain't coming back anytime soon. Rollins said they were here to deliver a message. Anyone who stands in their way will suffer the same fate as Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. So don't stand in our way, or we'll put you out of commission. Rollins said that Reigns has never cared about the fans, while Rollins instead cares about them deeply. Rollins said there's nobody who can stop him. And on cue, out comes Solo Sikoa, who had one of his better nights on the mic tonight. Solo actually was cutting pretty good promo. I thought Solo was good, like outstanding. Solo and his group come down. It's him, JC Matteo, and Jacob Fatu, which that plays into something big later. Sikoa asked Rollins about what he previously said, and Rollins reiterated everything. Don't stand in our way. I'm winning Money in the Bank, and I'm taking over this industry. Sikoa said if nobody is going to stop Rollins, well, maybe he and his group will. They'll stand right in their way. Sikoa said that Rollins has his own bloodline now, and that's cool for him. Sikoa asked if Braun was supposed to be the new main event Jey Uso right-hand man. And Bronson Reed, what are you, nothing more than an honorary Sami Zayn? Sikoa looked at Heyman and said, long time no see. Looks like you got yourself a wise man. Rollins then stepped in, told Sikoa to choose his next words wisely. Sikoa said that he would be the one winning the Money in the Bank contract and all the power would be with him. Rollins then called Breaker the future of this industry while Will Solo, he ain't. As much as he wants to be, he ain't. Rollins said Reed could snap Solo with a finger. Rollins said Sikoa's family would rather stab him in the back than back him up. Then he turns his attention to Jacob. Rollins says that it looks like Fatu wants to say something. Solo told Rollins, shut your mouth. Rollins said Fatu, quote, what do you know more than Solo's little bitch? Rollins said it took a lot of guts for Solo to come out here and talk to them like this. Rollins says that he felt a little threatened by one Fatu in this ring, and it ain't you, Solo. Sikoa took off his suit jacket, and Breaker stepped up. Fatu then stepped up to Breaker. Rollins then stepped up to Fatu, And then Heyman's group left, ending the segment. And I'm like, oh, man, they're teasing Jacob and Braun, and they didn't give it to us tonight. God damn it. So wanted to see that. Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker. Ooh, boy. So Samoans all stay there because Jimmy Uso comes out as apparently he's supposed to face JC Matteo. We didn't know that. We didn't know that. So it's Jimmy Uso versus JC Matteo. The match starts in the middle as we come back from a break. Uso came off the top and hit a crossbody for a 1. And then the match gets slowed down. And is JC Matteo just overpowering and grounding and keeping down Jey Uso in a very slow way that kind of got boring, I will say. I got bored with this match. So Matteo suplexed Uso before going to Uso's chin and mouth. Solo told Uso that it wasn't too late for you to come back and join us. He wants his brother to be by his side. But here's the issue. Lil Bro wants to be in charge of Big Bro. I don't think that's happening. Matteo kicked Uso and slowed things down yet again. Uso did fire up, but eventually, ran into a back elbow. Matteo had him down again. Matteo chopped Uso repeatedly before he ran at Uso, and Uso moved, sending Matteo to the outside, almost knocking into Solo. Uso hit Matteo with a shoulder block through the ropes and onto the floor. Uso went to the top, and Matteo drop kicked Uso off the top rope into the outside of the ring. The show then went to a break. Whoop, wrong button. There we go. Trying to full screen my notes here. Let's come back from the break. Uso was trying to rally back a comeback until Matteo clotheslined Uso and landed a standing moonsault. Matteo hit a running elbow into the corner, and Uso came back with a Samoan drop to reset the match. Uso then hit a fury of strikes on Matteo, including a step up enziguri. Uso came off the top with an Uso, whisper in the wind kind of move. And then he got a 2 count off of it. Uso ran at Matteo. Matteo caught him and hit a spinning back suplex for a nice near fall. Matteo ran at Uso, but Uso got an elbow up and followed this up with a pair of super kicks and a spear. Action finally started to kind of ramp up again as Uso went to the top, but Solo hopped up on the apron. Uso and Fatu then engaged in a little stare down with Fatu on the apron. Matteo leapt up at Uso, and Uso moved. So Matteo hit Fatu on the apron. Uso then rolled Matteo up and pinned him to pick up the victory. Jimmy then just gets out of there. And Solo goes in the ring to check on Matteo, but Jacob doesn't. Jacob goes to leave, and then him and Solo and JC start yelling at Jacob. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. You got involved and it's all your fault. Well, at least Matteo was yelling that. And so, yeah, as we see later, Jacob ain't long for this group. Jacob ain't long for this group at all. We see Zelina Vega in the back. She ran into Julia and told Julia, you don't have to pry this U.S. title from my lifeless body if you ever want it from me. Julia said, Zelina, you're confident. And then Zelina walked away and Julia just kept on staring at her. Julia wants the U.S. title. So that right there tells you, even though no one's predicting it, Julia ain't winning Money in the Bank. So Fatu ran into Damian Priest in the back. Priest told Fatu that he's been where Fatu currently is. And he doesn't envy it. In a group that kind of does and doesn't respect you. Priest said, at the same point, we waiting and coming for that U.S. title. Fatu said if Priest doesn't take care of business, Priest will be at the back of the line like everybody else. So then we had a Bakersfield brawl. It was a non-title match. The United States champion Zelina Vega against Piper Niven. This match was okay. Went a little long, but it was okay. Now, here's an interesting thing. When they did the Zelina Julia segment earlier, they both got graphics on the screen to tell you who they were, and it only said Zelina, no Vega, which was weird. And I was like, what? But then when she came out here, they did her intro. Fucking Mark Nash sounded like he's gonna cry. Zelina! I fucking can't stand this guy. He always sounds like he's about to start crying. Making their way to the ring. hanging and from like this guy, this fucking Mark Nash. No bueno. No bueno. Anywho, Zelina got her name back because he introduced her as United States champion. The United States champion, Zelina Vega. And it said Zelina Vega on the screen and everything. But yeah, we got Zelina Vega, got her name. She didn't lose her last name, which is good to see. Anyways, her and Piper had a good little brawl here. Backstage, a Bakersfield brawl, which is basically a street fight, no rules. Niven threw Vega to the mat repeatedly early on. Eventually, Vega grabbed a kendo stick from under the ring and worked it over on Niven for an interesting move here. Vega just threw the stick to the outside, didn't keep it next to her or keep it with her, and then she went for the pin. And I'm like, well, wouldn't you want that in case she kicks out? You think she's not gonna what? Kicks out. Chance for we want tables from the crowd. The action spills to the outside. Niven caught Vega before slamming Vega head first on the apron. Niven then followed this up with the basement crossbody against the LED boards as the show went to a break. When the show returned, there was a chain being introduced into the ring. Niven choked Vega with the chain. And I think it was this. Yes, it was before this break. There was a chair sitting in the corner and Vega was sitting on it. Piper did a cannonball into it. Vega moved and Piper head first, boom, right into that wild spot to do in a break. Like if you were watching on Netflix, you saw it, right? But you weren't watching on Netflix. If you were watching on the USA Network, you didn't see this crazy wild Niven chair spot where she cannonballed into a chair hard, hit the top of the chair, bounced her head down on the chair, like holy shit. Anyways, where were we? Niven then tried to, at one point, slam Vega onto the chair, but Vega turned it into a DDT. Niven then sold it by rolling to the outside, where Vega hit a moonsault on everybody, including Fire and Green. Vega went to the top, but Niven cut her off. Vega fought back and landed a super code red off the top. Fire then pulled the Vega off of Niven. No pin, no DQ, so it's all legal. Green then beat down Vega, and Niven, as Niven came to help. Niven then yelled at Fire to grab a table. Also, before this, I forgot to mention, there was a spot where, and I think it was also during the break. I get it all mixed up because I watch on Netflix, and so it's like I sometimes don't remember what is and what isn't the break. Anyways, Piper goes to pull a table out from under the ring. The crowd erupts, and then she just drops it and goes, no, you guys don't deserve it, and she pushes it back under, sort of. So they did that spot. But then, and I'm going to pull this image up here on the screen, we finally got our first glimpse at a Slim Jim table. So if you don't know, Slim Jim is the official sponsor, main, I guess you could say primary sponsor of Monday Night Raw. With that, Slim Jim will also have their logo on all folding tables in WWE. So all tables used in the company, whether that's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or pay-per-views, will have the Slim Jim logo on them. And we did see that here. As just finishing this up before we show it. Let's see. So Fire set up a table in the ring. Niven then slammed Vega onto the floor as the crew were setting it all up. With Vega on the table, Niven went to the second rope, but Julia would appear and attack Green and Fire. Julia then hit Niven with a kendo stick, and Vega powerbombed Niven through the table and pinned her to pick up the victory. So they take a look at these new Slim Jim tables. Let me see. Yeah, so I got the right images here. We take a look at these new Slim Jim tables, if it will show. There we go. As we see, there are two logos, one on either side. So that, you see there, Slim Jim, Slim Jim. So that, when they break, you get one Slim Jim table or one Slim Jim logo on either side. That way, you know, if like they break the table and one gets flipped over, but one's still sitting up, boom, you still see a Slim Jim logo. So the tables will have two Slim Jim logos, one on either side. That's what it looks like. This was our first introduction to the Slim Jim tables. And I love what they said, keeping branding in the press release, snap into a Slim Jim table. But yeah, cool, whatever. Just like all the logos on the mat on Raw, we're barely going to notice it. I feel like it's going to be Just like with the logos on the mat on Raw or in the UFC or in New Japan, you're not even going to notice it anyway. Like, I didn't notice that there was a big-ass WWE logo in the middle of the ring until the second Seth Rollins segment later in the night where I go, oh, hey, SmackDown got a big-ass WWE logo in the middle of the ring. Cool. I didn't even notice it. Like, when they used to always have the Prime logo on the mat for, like, pay-per-views or whatnot or whatever, barely ever noticed it. So it's like, it's there for people to notice. A lot of people don't notice it, or it just, yeah, not a big deal. People making a big deal about it. It's not a big deal at all. So after the match, Julia gets in the ring and she goes and raises Zelina's hand, right? She raises up Zelina's hand. She looks at that U.S. title, and Zelina kind of looks at her like, you ain't taking my belt. And then she, boom, headbutts Zelina, knocks Zelina down, and stands over her with the belt. So they're telling us that Zelina's next big challenger is going to be Julia after Money in the Bank. Maybe they do one more Chelsea. I don't know, because they're still doing the whole Zelina versus the Her versus Chelsea. So I don't know exactly what the time frame will be, but Julia's basically up next. Jey Uso was shown in the locker room. Cody Rhodes comes up and is like, hey, you good? You good? He's like, yeah, well, why would you ask that? And then Jimmy barges in. Hey, eat man ready to eat. You gonna eat? And he's like, whoa, why everyone keep asking me if I'm okay? And Jimmy's like, well, you gotta see what Cena has to say tonight. You got your match of Money in the Bank tomorrow. You got Gunther for the title on Monday. We just want to make sure you're in the right headspace. Eat man gonna eat. He's like, oh yeah, I'm good. I get it. I'm good. And he goes, let's go. And he goes, leave. Cody leaves with them. And I'm like, these guys ain't going to the ring right now. Where the fuck are they going? But yeah, so. Anywho, what the, really? You could, no. What the fuck kind of comment is that? What the, yeah. Troll ass motherfucking dickhead. Just gonna say it. Like, I'll read your comments. It says, Tim sounds like a mix between Morgan Wallen and Lady Gaga of those super pop singers. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I sound like Lady Gaga. Yeah, you can go suck my dick, motherfucker. Fuck you. Anyways, Alistar Black talked about, you know, his reintroduction to WWE. Black recalled how LA Knight stole his victory at Money in the Bank. Black said that he wants to take Knight's security away, and he will do so later tonight. Black said if Knight beats him, he'll shake Knight's hand and admit defeat. So that match was next. LA Knight versus Alistar Black. Pretty good match. Before the match, LA Knight cut a promo just on basically everybody in Money in the Bank. Knight said that it was his time this year, as it's his third year in a row in Money in the Bank. Knight said, if you do a little bit of math, it's my turn. Knight asked the crowd if they thought the third man, or the third time would be the charm, because I guess some guy yells, third time's the charm. Knight said that he's not satisfied with what's happened in the past. He ran down the other participants in the ladder match, including Seth Rollins and everybody else, with whom Knight noted he hasn't really had much interactions with. So it's going to be interesting tangling up with Seth tomorrow. Knight said that Rollins isn't going to burn anything down, and instead, Rollins will be burned by Knight. Knight then capped it off after a couple of minutes with his catchphrase, L.A. Knight, yeah, and went on his way. So, cool. He was trying to get reactions for the crowd. He's like, you know, we've got Andrade, and like there was like cheers for him. He goes, oh, you sounds like you like that guy. Then he's like, well, then we have the Goons, El Grande Americano, and there's like half cheers, half booze. And he goes, oh, I didn't expect that one. Some of you like him, some of you don't. Hold on, let's see this again. El Grande Americano, and half cheers, half booze again. And Knight was thrown off a little bit here. And then he was like, oh, Solo Sikoa. And they all boo, and he goes, my sentiments as well. So, anywho, also Corey says, who the hell's Morgan Wallen? Only like the either number one or number two country singer in the world right now. Like number one, number two, it's either Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs. They're right there at the top as far as like selling tickets and albums and all that kind of stuff. Morgan Wallen just came out with a great new double album last week. Listen to the hell out of that one. Anyways, So the match does start after a commercial break. The two lock it up, and they kind of just felt each other out here for a minute. At one point, Black landed a jawbreaker and a step-up knee for a 2. Black followed this up with a snap suplex, which was good enough for another 2 count. Black landed a series of strikes, complete with a leg sweep. Black went for a springboard move, but Knight charged Black, and both wrestlers kind of went over the top and fell to the outside. The show goes to a break. Back from the break, Black successfully executed the springboard moonsault on Knight inside the ring. We get to this is awesome chant. Black went for a black mass, but Knight ducked it, and Knight hit his jumping neck breaker onto his modified power slam. From there, there's a top rope elbow drop, but Black got the boot up. The two then went back and forth for a little while with punches and kicks and so forth. Black then returned the offense with a moonsault, but Knight caught Black and hit a burning hammer. Black then rolled to the outside, and Seth Rollins ran in and gave Knight a stomp, which was enough to end the match. So there we go. Seth Rollins does take out LA Knight. Rollins then set up for another stomp, but Black stepped in and stopped him. Breaker then showed up and speared the hell out of Alistar Black. Reed then landed a senton, big old splash on Knight, and then Breaker speared Knight. Oof. And more of this bullshit later. More of this later. So, but the match is good with a shitty ass finish. Shitty ass finish. No, you are wrong, Elite. I don't sound like fucking Lady Gaga. Anywho. Yes, Elite. Julia is a heel. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. So Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce make a huge announcement. They do state that starting next week is the return of King and Queen of the Ring. King and Queen of the Ring will return with the same format technically that we got last year, somewhat, sort of. As far as the finals being in Saudi, they will be at the Night of Champions show with the winner of both the men's and women's, well, I don't want to say men's and women's, but the King and Queen of the Ring getting world title shots at SummerSlam. But the format, as far as the bracketing does go for this year's Money, or not Money in the Bank, but this year's King and Queen of the Ring is a little different, as I'm going to pull this graphic up here on the screen. As we do have the brackets, it's a little different. And the finals, like last year, the finals were one Raw, one SmackDown in both. Now, it could be Raw versus Raw or SmackDown versus SmackDown. As you see here, these are the new brackets for King and Queen of the Ring. There will be 4 4-ways. So they've got a Raw 4-way, a SmackDown 4-way, a SmackDown 4-way, and a Raw 4-way. The winners of these 4-ways on the left will face each other in the second round to move on to the finals. The winner of these 4-ways will face each other to move on in the second round to the finals. So it could be SmackDown versus Raw. It could be SmackDown versus SmackDown in the finals. We don't know. But again, unlike last year where it was Raw versus SmackDown, you know, Gunther representing Raw and Randy Orton representing SmackDown, it may not be that this year. It may not be Raw versus SmackDown. It could be SmackDown versus SmackDown, Raw versus Raw, but we are getting King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, finals at Night of Champions in Saudi, and the winners getting world title shots at SummerSlam. So they are doing it. I don't know why they got to do the Night of Champions branding instead of just like last year where the event itself was King and Queen of the Ring. That's a little interesting, but there we go. Also, we do know that the first 2 names in the Queen of the Ring tournament on the SmackDown side, that is, will be both Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill. They both did announce and declare for the tournament. Now, I don't see them being in the same 4-way. I don't see both of them being in like this 4-way here or this 4-way here. I see them being on opposite sides and then maybe even meeting in the finals. But remember, there has been a rumor that Jade versus Charlotte could take place at Evolution. Or maybe they have moved it and that's the finals of Queen of the Ring. We don't know. But it's possible with now the SmackDown versus SmackDown could happen. As we move forward, give me 1 second. All right, so let's close this graphic back up as we move forward. Byron Saxton interviews Jade Cargill, and he asked her about Queen of the Ring. She says she wants to be in it. And then up comes Charlotte Flair. She says she's going to be in it as well. Tiffany Stratton then walked in and kind of just looked at them and then went out to the ring for her segment. Then they get a video of Legado del Fantasma. He talked about competing at Worlds Collide tomorrow. And I think they said their match, their trios match, will open the show at Worlds Collide. So American Made were interviewed backstage. Chad Gable said that he is confident as far as he is going into his match with Vikingo tomorrow for the Mega Championship. He said he will walk out of Los Angeles a champion. Andrade walked in frame and spoke to Gable in Spanish, where he just kept saying, see. Penta then pulled up and made fun of Gable in Spanish. Gable got angry and said, El Grande will put both of them out tomorrow in the ladder match. Alderson showed up and said, hey, Penta, Andrade, but you two team up against the Creeds later tonight. So that match was made for later, and it had more Seth Rollins bullshit. So, Tiffany Stratton comes out. Tiffany said everyone on Saturday is going to try and pull a Tiffy from last year. Reach up to the stars, get the briefcase, and become Miss Money in the Bank. Stratton said everyone in the match is, well, great. But after the match, whomever wins will have their world revolving around her and wanting to cash in on her, and she's ready for that. Tiffany asked everybody what time it is, and they shouted Tiffy time as Rhea Ripley's music hit. Ripley walked out, grabbed a mic, and started talking about Money in the Bank, saying, you know, I've never been in Money in the Bank before. That's because I've never had to be in Money in the Bank to get the title. Ripley said, I know what it feels like to be the champion. And well, I want it again. I miss that feeling. That's when Stephanie Vaqueur's music would hit. She would walk down to the ring as we were sitting ready for their 6-woman tag team match. That match was Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaqueur, and Alexa Bliss taking on the team of Naomi, Julia, and Roxanne Perez. So Vaqueur and Julia started things off, and they had a nice little fast pace here. Traded a bunch of pin attempts, and Vaqueur set up the Devil's Kiss move. Freaking Wade was like gonna do the like Booker does, and like Pat tried to do on Monday, and he was just like, oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna get myself in trouble with this one, or something like that. It was funny. So Naomi does eventually tag in and went for the Devil's Kiss on Vaqueur, but Vaqueur worked out of it. Things then broke down with all 6 women brawling in the ring, highlighted by Vaqueur executing a Devil's Kiss on Naomi. After things kind of settled down, Naomi and Vaqueur were battling in the ring, and Naomi got the best of it, complete with something taking out some of the heels. Perez would tag in and work over Vaqueur until Julia would tag in a short time later. Naomi quickly tagged in too. She lifted Vaqueur up, but Vaqueur worked out of it, tagged in Alexa. Alexa whipped Naomi into the corner and pulled her down by her hair. Bliss then hit a basement dropkick, and Naomi hit a basement dropkick on Naomi and a dive on Julia and Naomi on the outside. Perez would reinsert herself into the match and threw Bliss into the ring steps. The show then went to a commercial break. When the show returned, Naomi was working over Bliss. Naomi ran Bliss into the buckle face first. Naomi then lifted Bliss up to stop a tag. Bliss, though, DDT'd Naomi and did get that tag to Rhea Ripley. Perez tagged in as well. Ripley then hit a fall-away slam, and Perez took out the rest of the wrestlers, and the crowd was chanting for Mommy. Ripley then landed a razor's edge on Perez. She followed this up with a big boot to the face. Naomi broke up a pin attempt. The match then broke down as Bliss hit a Sister Abigail DDT on Julia. Ripley this was great. Ripley tried to go for the Riptide on Perez, and Perez countered it into a spike DDT. This was an awesome little sequence here because I've never seen anybody counter the Riptide like that. And Rhea sold it so well, getting spiked right on her head with this DDT. This was great, and everybody was down. There was then a chant from the crowd that I wasn't really sure exactly what they were saying. Perez then tried to tag in Naomi. Naomi then just left the match, hopping off the apron, going, yeah, I'm good, never mind. Julia was also already down. So the 3 baby faces just kind of did their moves on Roxanne. Roxanne then did take a riptide and got pinned in this 12-minute match. So there we go. There we go. There we go. The baby faces do pick up the win. Elite, did you not watch the show? Do you not see what was announced yesterday? Come on, guy. Keep up. Keep up. You're here talking bullshit and crap like you watched the show and you didn't even watch the show. So, yeah. Anywho, Solo Sikoa was shown backstage with JC Matteo, and they're all talking about Jacob and whatnot, and Jacob's over here, or Solo's over here saying Jacob might not be able to be trusted, and he's like, you know, Jacob says he's all gas, but he says he's all gas, no brains. And they go to walk off, and I thought maybe Jacob was going to come up from behind, like Jacob's going to be standing there when he says it. No, Jacob on the other side of the wall in the other room. He comes through the door, and he just looks all pissed off. We don't see Solo walking off, but he's watching Solo walk off, staring at him. Woo, Solo, you pissed off the werewolf. Solo gon' get it. Solo gon' get it. Coming. It's coming. We then get a Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy video. He's more Bo than anything here. Little VHS deal. Bo said that he's watched the tag division, and he said they returned not for nostalgia or closure, but to rip open the wounds of apathy and take what is owed to them. I'm like, what, the tag titles? Ain't no shit no owed to you. I'm so over these fucking Wyatts. This shit is dumb. It was cool when it started, when they killed everybody backstage, Chad Gable and whatnot. But, yeah, they're kind of lame now. He said, the time for repentance has passed. Everyone needs to accept their condemnation, and they will not be forgotten. The entire SmackDown division is on watch. So they show the entire SmackDown division watching backstage in Nick Aldis' office. And Montez Ford spoke up first, going, we ain't scared of them. Nope. They want the smoke. They ain't getting the smoke. We the boogeyman. Fraxium said that they need to teach the Wyatts a lesson. Motor City Machine Guns and DIY were like, yeah, they can't do this. They can't just run things here and do what they want. And Nick Aldis is just standing behind them listening. And basically each team, and it was funny because Ford said something to Fraxium. I couldn't remember exactly what he said. And then he looks at Motor City Machine Guns and goes, and you, Motor City Machine Guns, we need your guns to take them out. And DIY, you can't do it yourself. We all need to work together. And then they left. Everybody ended up leaving. And all this was just standing there going, okay, what was all that? Whatever. So then we got technically the main event match of the night. It was Penta and Andrade versus American Made. And oh my God, was this a great match. This match was so good. I really, really, really enjoyed the match. It only went 8 minutes, but this match, for the 8 minutes we got, so good. Penta and Andrade jump-started the match, landing dives on both Creeds on the outside. Andrade and Brutus started the match. Also, no Ivy. Weird to see no Ivy out there with American Made. But anyways, Julius ran in and Andrade took him down. Andrade hit double knees on both brothers in separate corners. Penta tagged in and took care of the Creeds himself as well. Penta did the Penta walk, but the brothers attacked him while doing so briefly. They took control. Penta quickly recovered, and Andrade tagged in, but Julius took out Andrade's knee. Brutus tagged in and in a standing moonsault for a 1. The show went to a break. When we come back from the break, the show returned, and Andrade was getting worked over by the Creeds until he hit an enziguri on Julius and tagged in Penta. Penta unleashed a flurry of offense on Julius. The ref was then distracted by Gable, who hopped up on the apron, and he tried to take Penta's mask off until Vikingo got involved, and he grabbed Gable, and all this stuff was going on, where all of a sudden, Penta just hits a Mexican destroyer on Brutus and pins him to pick up the win. But it was a good match. I really, really enjoyed it. Post-match, well, that's a different story. Seth's music hits, and his group comes out, and they're beating everybody up. They take out Penta and Andrade. Heyman's group surrounds the ring. They brawl. Breaker, Rollins, and Reed. Brawl with Penta and Andrade. Creed's American Made. They all left. Crowd's booing as the heels are getting the best of Penta and Andrade. Breaker landed a big spear on Andrade while Reed hit a big tsunami on Penta. Rollins then stomped both Penta and Andrade. Reed went to the top and connected with a tsunami on Penta. Officials ran in and broke everything up, and I'm sitting here going, wait. They're making Seth look too strong. Do they want us to think that Seth is a cut above everybody, better than everybody, needs winning Money in the Bank, only to swerve us as Seth is not winning Money in the Bank? See, WWE booking a lot of times is whoever looks the strongest going into a pay-per-view match is probably not winning. It's about 70-30, so it's not always the case, but it's the case a lot of times. And I think maybe they made Seth look just a little bit too strong here. Now, I could be completely wrong on this, and it's that other backside 30%. But I've been like steadfast. Seth's winning the briefcase. Seth's winning the briefcase. Seth's winning the briefcase. But how strong they made Rollins look tonight makes me think maybe it's not the case. Maybe it is somebody else. Maybe we want to fail this year, so it's El Grande Americano. I can see it. If El Grande win, and then he fails his cash-in. But there's just something here. There's just something that with Seth looking so strong, I don't think he's winning. I hope I'm wrong because I want Seth to have the briefcase. But also, maybe Seth doesn't win and then goes and wins King of the Ring. But I have another theory on who I think is actually going to win King of the Ring. We'll talk about it here next. So, go to a break, come back, and Heyman speaking. Said everybody here are Bakersfield bitches or Baker's bitches or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's a clever one. I never heard that one before. Heyman said that the group doesn't fear anybody. They don't fear the future because, well, they are the future. Heyman said that he doesn't understand why anyone would boo them. And I'm like, probably so this is your fucking second talking segment of the night that's not needed. Heyman said they didn't understand. Heyman said that Rollins already told everybody earlier what's going to happen. And it's been happening. He's going to take everybody out en route to winning Money in the Bank. Rollins asked if the crowd understands what the agenda is. It says, we are, quote, the vanguards of the destiny of WWE. And I'm sitting here going, yeah, I ain't calling you guys that. The vanguards of the destiny of WWE? What the fuck is that? So are they called the vanguards? Are they the vanguards? What's a vanguard? Google vanguards. What is the meaning of vanguards? Vanguard definition. Vanguards. A group of people leading the way in new developments or ideas. Okay. And now my phone's going off. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. My phone just started talking about vanguards. And I don't even, like, look, literally, there's nothing there for me. No apps open, no nothing. What the fuck? This bitch is still talking.
Frederick Law Olmsted.
What the fuck? It's a ghost. Hold on, can I just say Google? Okay, Google. Stop. There we go. Jesus Christ. Anywho. Rollins says he's going to become Mr. Money in the Bank. Heyman said after that, whenever Rollins damn well pleases, he will cash in and be the champion back at the top of the industry. Heyman said the greatest honor of his professional life will be calling Rollins the reigning, defending wrestling has more than one royal family. And Cody Rhodes comes out. Cody's music hits. Cody comes down to the ring, and there we go. Cody stood in the ring in front of all of Heyman and Seth's group, all four of them. Rollins then stepped forward and said something in Cody's ear. We don't know what. As Jay's music hit. Jay came out through the crowd. He yeeted with a little girl. really cool that he does this, grabs the kids and eats with them. And as he's coming down the ring, show goes to a break. Gamers group's gone. Come back, and Cody said, Bakersfield, what do you want to talk about? Cody mentioned John Cena. The crowd launched into a let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks chant. Cody mentioned how seeing Cena stand next to Paul is like, well, quote, Michael Hayes standing next to the Hardy Boys. The problem with the line was that nobody reacted. And I'm like, I don't get it. I didn't get it either. The crowd didn't react. I didn't react. So I'm like, what? Michael Hayes and the Hardys? Well, how is that comparable? Actually, Michael Hayes with the Hardys is what got me into wrestling. Because the first match I ever saw was Michael Hayes with the Hardys beating the APA for the tag titles. And I was hooked ever since. Anyways. I didn't get the line. The crowd didn't get the line. Whatever. Jay took the mic and said, everybody yeeted. Quickly, John Cena's music would hit, and Cena made his way down to the ring as the crowd's chanting, John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. Cena cuts his music and soaked in the chants coming from the crowd. Cody took off his suit jacket because he knew a fight was about to happen. Cena then looked over at Mark Nash. He is the greatest of all time. And I'm like, this fucking guy needs to date. I never want anyone to lose their job, but my God, Mark Nash is annoying. He always sounds like he's on the verge of crying. Anyways, as he's doing this, it's a distraction. Logan Paul comes out, knocks out Jay with one punch, tries to go at Cody, but Cody grabs it for the crossroads. Well, Cena hits Cody with the belt. Cena then hit him with an AA. He hit Uso with the AA. Paul landed a pulverizer on Cody. Paul then went to the top and hit a fucking phenomenal great looking frog splash on Cody. I think he hit one on each of them, actually. So Cena grabbed the microphone, said, nobody will come and save you. Nobody will save the fans. Nobody will save wrestling. Cena said that he's been telling these people this for half a year now. Quote, your dream of what WWE is will be ruined. This is your future. I will take this home. He will take that to the top, as Logan is holding up the World Heavyweight Championship. Cena said, you guys can't handle the truth. Cena said, the last world champion and the moment maker are the future. Are the future. And you can't handle the truth. Eventually, the crowd starts chanting, truth, truth, truth. And then Cena says again, you can't handle the truth. And they said, we want truth. We want truth. We want truth. And Cena said, you guys are all losers. And this is the last time I am ever coming to Bakersfield. Cena finished off by saying that winners write the history book. He and Paul then again held up the belts, and the show went off the air with Cody and Uso down. So the big question here is, if Cena wants Logan to have the world title, Logan already lost at Saturday night's main event to Jey Uso. So how does he get back to the title? And I just froze. Give me 1 second, guys. How does Logan get back to a shot at the title? I think Cena, and I could be wrong here, this is just my fantasy booking predictions, I think there's a chance Cena helps Logan win King of the Ring. Logan then gets a title shot at goddamn SummerSlam, and Cena helps Logan beat Jay to win the title. Or Jay just loses in whatever, and Cena doesn't get involved. Either way, I think there is a really good chance, and I hope I'm wrong because I don't want to see this, but I think there's a good chance Logan Paul wins King of the Ring to get another shot at goddamn Jey Uso. Because Cena's new goal is not only I'm going to leave in December with the title, but it's also to get that other title on Logan. That is his new goal, to get that other title on Logan. How does he do that? Logan, all he got to do is win King of the Ring. 3 matches, a 4-way and 2 singles matches, and boom, Logan's #1 contender. I think that's a very good possibility. Logan Paul could be winning King of the Ring. with that, guys, that is everything that took place tonight on SmackDown. Let me get the poll going here really fast on Twitch. What did you think of SmackDown? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. The poll is live on Twitch, but you know what I thought of the show? Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Friday Night SmackDown as we go and refresh these other polls. Ooh, looks like Santino beat Robert Stone, if I'm seeing this correctly. Let me just double check on this. What was that? I just saw something. Oh, never mind. Give me 1 second, guys. Did Santino win? I think Santino won. Yeah, Santino defeated Robert Stone. Robert Stone now has to go back to NXT. Gotcha. Okay. Anyways, as far as the polls do go here, we've got the Twitter poll, Threads poll. As far as the Threads poll does go, 88% liked tonight's SmackDown. 6% thought it was all right, and 6% didn't like it. Good. Again, looking over on Twitter X, 81% liked tonight's SmackDown, 14% didn't, and 3% thought it was just all right. These votes are with me. I thought it was a really good episode of SmackDown. Again, looking over at the community poll, 80% liked SmackDown, 13% thought it was just all right, 7% didn't like it. Looking at the live poll, 88% liked tonight's SmackDown, 8% thought it was just all right, 4% didn't like it. So this was a unanimously liked to SmackDown for sure. We only got one vote because I did the poll late. We got one vote here on Twitch. We like SmackDown. So there we go. Remember, tomorrow is Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. We'll be doing a joint double review of that. We're going to do a small little mini review at the beginning of the podcast. Then we'll do a full review of Money in the Bank afterwards. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Friday night. Have a great weekend coming up, and I'll see you tomorrow for Money in the Bank. Have a good one, guys.